Okay, so you saw us just after 2 weeks last time, and we just started the fencing for the fields. The post and rail had arrived on day 2, I think it was. We put in some initial stabling for the horses, temporary really. Since then we've finished the fencing on the outside, at the back of the house, gated 2 paddocks, we've gated the sides of the house, and we've made a gated entrance to the horses' field for things like the farrier to come into and deliveries. So all good there. And since then we've really just been working on the land, clearing it up. As I told you previously, we've been removing lots of nasty flowers and things that the horses can't be with, and that took about 2 trailers of rubbish up to the déchetterie. Took quite a long time. Going back to the post and rail, you were aware that we had some heavy machinery on site to help with digging the holes. That it wasn't as easy as it looked on the initial program. I had to go actually and buy a small breaker myself and get on my hands and knees to drill some of these holes, because there's rock literally 2 or 3 inches underneath the soil. So that was a lot harder than it looked maybe on TV. But Steff was great at holding things, because we were on our own at that stage. So since that post and rail was done and the dogs were secure at the back, we've been working on the land, clearing things like ivy, and knowing that we need to use the déchetterie services, which are free of charge at the moment, until January anyway. So yeah, we've been working hard on the land, and the next batch of fencing for the front of the house is about to arrive imminently. Yesterday we had a delivery of the stabling, which is going to be done in a different location for the winter, in a much better location really. So that's arrived as well. So that's another project on the back burner. Well, on back burner, it's going to be done very soon, next few days. I also want to close off the back of the pool area to make some sort of kitchen area, make that a bit more, make it a bit nicer for us, if you like. So on clearing some of the ivy and the rubbish in the bushes, we found a dead tree at the side of the property, which we took down on our own, and that's given us plenty of firewood. But then we found that the oak tree, the large oak tree overhanging the horses' field, it's about 80 foot tall, was dropping acorns onto the grass. I had no idea that they were poisonous to the horses. So we did actually do a little bit of tree maintenance ourselves, trim a couple of branches, but really that wasn't working at all. So that had to come down, sadly. And also there was another tree near the hens, which was half dead and could possibly have fallen on the house, especially with the wind that we've got lately. So they were taken down last Friday, and we spent a week cutting up the woodwork, clearing the debris, and that's now done. But the tree surgeon, if that's what they're called out here, he's supposed to be coming back on Friday just to cut the main part of the trunk up for us. Well, this is really where all the tools are stored for working on the land and in the house, and some of this stuff I've inherited. It needs a good tidy up and a sort out, because I went back to the UK for 3 weeks and I brought back my van, which again was full of tools and bits and pieces which I need to integrate into here. So plans here are to have a good sort out and get my tools and some of the better tools I've inherited accessible. And yeah, this will be where I'm going to be during the winter, making things, maintaining things like the mowers and the petrol devices. Yeah, this is where it's going to be happening. I haven't been in here a lot actually. So I don't think Steff's ever been in here actually, but I haven't been in here a lot because we've been working so much more outside. But yeah, the winter's coming and I'm sure I'll be spending a bit more time in here. Yes, it is. I've been asked on more than one occasion if I can help out with some of the expats here. I've got no intention actually of working out here. We come out as retired and I've got more than I need on my plate here. But it is helpful. I mean, we've managed on our own, Steff and I, since we've been here. With a little bit of help from Nick before he went home. But yeah, we've managed on our own. We have the tools and the skill set and a very keen wife to help. That's all we need really. The main barn, which was going to probably be my premier project, if you like, when I first came out and saw the project. That's when I saw the property. That's going to have to go on the back burner for some time. I think the roof is going to cost me probably about £10,000, and I need to do that first before any work underneath. It would make an ideal gîte. It would make an ideal sort of annex for anyone that came to stay. But it's just got to wait, because there's a lot of work underneath the roof once that's been done. And I haven't got the time, and at the moment we don't really want to invest that sort of money on that project when there's so many other things to do. The large barn behind us needs closing off from the road. It looks untidy, but also it would serve as a good windbreak. At the moment we're putting the vehicles in the main barn, and when it's windy they get covered in dust, so I'm going to close off the ends. Steff stores the hay and the straw in there, and we've got one or two other things in there. We're storing some wood there, so yeah, it needs closing off. That's quite a big project because it's a long old stretch. The guttering needs doing as well, but yeah, that's the plan for the big barn. So when I came back from the UK, I did actually buy a new house sign made in slate with a light on it so it could be seen from the road, and I was just putting that out onto the stump, and a cyclist pulled up and just said, not very good English at all, and I can understand what he was saying, but he was basically saying that he lived here in the 60s and he was so pleased to see horses in the field because it was an equestrian property back in the 60s, and he lived here with his parents, and there were 11 horses here, so he was delighted to see it sort of return to its previous use. And he lives just in the next village, and I think he cycles up and down all the time, and yeah, it must be nice for him. So yeah. It has been busy actually, and I think we've been busier than we thought we would do when we initially moved here, but we've had some downtime. We had both sets of kids have been out and they've had a week each here, both sets. I've had my eldest separately helping me with some work, and we've had some days out to the beach. We've done the airport runs taking people home, and then we've gone on out for the day. We're also learning French, so that takes up Wednesday mornings, and following the class session we're also having some private lessons, so Wednesday is a day off, if you can call it a day off. So yeah, we've had some downtime, and we're getting out, or we have been getting out to the local events. They have parties, get-togethers on Saturdays. We went to about 7 or 8 in a row, and we're getting to know new people. And yeah, no, we've had some downtime. Probably thought we would have more downtime, but it happened.